Hello, everyone. We're waiting another minute. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I see people entering. Thank you. We'll be starting. Good to have you today. My name is Caroline. I work in the strategy department at Argentum. And today I will talk about the multi-submission strategy process at Argentum for not-for-profit organizations. And more specifically, I will share with you our approach and how do we tackle the complexity of European R&D grants and also consortia establishment. And in order to do so, I will first define and explain about different funding opportunities that can be relevant for NFP organizations, non-for-profit. Then I will also display a step-by-step methodology. And finally, I will present our approach and expertise and service proposition. The first topic, European funding opportunities for NFP entities in collaborative and independent projects. What funding opportunities can NFP organizations apply for? Firstly, let's zoom on the NFP entities. Who are the NFP organizations I'm mostly focusing on in this webinar? These are higher educational institutions such as universities, colleges, research centers, labs, NGOs, usually impact-oriented, public organizations, as well as municipalities. Then, what are some examples of EU funding opportunities? In this slide, I included funding sources on different levels. The three main levels are national, intergovernmental, and EU level. National level, I mostly show it here in B. Of course, depending the country eligibility rules, funding details, what are the exact opportunities for you in your country. On intergovernmental level, we usually apply to a European partnership, and if successful, you get funded on national level. These are intergovernmental funding opportunities, for example, shown here in bilateral funding at C, such as Eureka, which is a European partnership for bilateral collaborations where you work with another entity, another country, a country that is participating in Eureka, Eureka program. This can be another research institution, it can be a company, different entities, depending also on the national rules. Other bilateral or intergovernmental funding opportunities are at E, for example, EP PerMed, European Partnership for Personalized Medicine. This is for health-related entities. And EP PerMed, we apply with usually multidisciplinary consortium, obviously, with research institutions as well as companies. And here, if successful, you will get funded on national level. But the application is to the EP PerMed, to the European Partnership itself. I also added for, let's see, intergovernmental funding, also the ERDERA regarding rare disease, if we stay in the health cluster. Eureka, which I just mentioned, is for all kinds of topics of research and technology, or bottom up. Another example of European funding for both independent and commercial applications, for example, at B, is CLIMA, which is a EU funding program for collaborative projects in the field of food, agriculture, water, and energy. Then I have some examples of foundations as well at F. At G, I have included some examples, also mostly for bottom up, some for cluster 4 digital solutions. Let's zoom into Horizon Europe, which you can see at G for large-scale international collaborations, consortia. which are for all kind of clusters and fields of expertise. Also, in terms of Horizon Europe, it's worth to mention there's a Hop-On program for the Eastern and Southern European countries. Lastly, at A, specifically for research institutes, ERC, European Research Council, as well as the Marie Curie Actions. These are just some examples of EU funding opportunities for non-for-profit organizations. In that topic, I would like to mention that here there are examples of single applications where you can apply as an independent applicant, as well as with a collaboration with a consortium. Bottom line of this slide, most of the opportunities here require collaboration. So I would like to zoom in to the collaborative proposals in the next slide. European collaborative funding opportunities. So one objective is to bridge between research and industry. And in order to ensure this, we need to have a fluent and effective TRL level advancement of scientific or innovative ideas, helping research projects to advance toward product development and market adoption. And then it will also be expected to bridge between those different industrial sectors and different academic disciplines. This is called the multidisciplinary consortium that I just mentioned. At EU level, the international collaboration is very encouraged, and in order to reach a stronger and more unified continent, obviously. Then, especially when it comes to larger consortia, the expectations will be that the consortium constellation represents the actual value chain. So the consortia would then be to improve communication and collaboration among all stakeholders, alignment and quicker resolution of issues. And finally, we envision collaborative projects as an opportunity to undertake a significant larger project scope that you would not reach independently. Okay, this brings me to the next topic, NFPs, non-for-profit organizations targeting grants, a step-by-step methodology. How do we tackle the complexity of European R&D grants and consortium establishment? First, for who is this methodology relevant, targeting EU funding? So whether you're looking to enhance an existing project with the right strategic partners, gain visibility in new ecosystems, or leverage cutting-edge research and resources, we can help position you in consortia that align with your organization's vision and strengths, whether these are scientific, technological, or infrastructure contributions to collaborative research projects. We specialize in bridging the gap between, as I said also earlier, industry and academia, helping you from the constellation of consortia that turn research and innovation into real-world solutions. And if you're open to participate in projects led by industrial and research leaders, we can assure your organization that will be well placed to maximize both funding and strategic opportunities. To make it simple, we can trace 3 first steps. First, we engage all researchers or representatives within your department and increase the number of applications to grants. How? Argentum maps the department's activities, whether R&D projects, potential contributions on scientific, technological, or infrastructure level, such as providing a lab infrastructure, hosting test activities, or perhaps pilot activities. We map this list of research projects, initiatives, and potential contributions to consortia through a personalized questionnaire. In parallel, Argentum lists all the relevant funding sources and calls for proposals. In this list, we take into account all eligibility criteria and all the calls requirements to be addressed. And then the third step is to establish our strategy, which involves to prioritize the relevant funding tracks and to define for each one of them if it will be a target as a coordinator or as a partner. Here a bit more about the implementation. If you target a call for proposal as a coordinator, then you will need to define your project idea and align it with the call's expectations. This usually means that the call for proposal falls with exactly on what you're planning to do. And according to the call's requirements, we will draft the list of missing expertise or missing roles that you would need in your consortium. And then there is the search for partners. For the search of partners, you can use obviously your own network, but also partnering platforms that are offered by the funding programs or organized brokerage events that we attend. And while consolidating the consortium, we structure the collaborative project idea and position your partners according to their role in the project and their added value in the project. In the second scenario, if you target the funding track as a partner, then you will begin with defining your added value as a partner in a collaborative project and what will be the role or different roles you could take. And we perform this in alignment with the call's expectations as well. As your position as a partner also depends on the scope of the funding program. Then the next step is that we search for coordinators that are currently establishing a consortium and that are looking for partners like you. This is similar to the first scenario when we target as a coordinator. The search for consortia can be performed, obviously, also within your network, or as I said, through partnering platforms that we're very active at, or brokerage events from the funding authorities, as well as Argentum's ecosystem. We gave separate webinars about this topic regarding the Argentum's consortia ecosystem, also called ACE. I'm happy to forward you those relevant webinars and to invite you to participate in ACE. Then I come to the last part, who we are and our service proposition. How can we support your organization in targeting grants? So applying to grants should be done with a clear strategic plan in place. So when Argentum works with non-for-profit organizations on targeting grants, we usually work with you for a long-term period of several years. And the idea is that during our long-term collaboration, we apply to multiple funding opportunities. Our grant strategy is based on an ongoing analysis and identification of the funding opportunities that fit your organization's needs, strategies, and expertise, along with full proposal preparation support and writing of the applications to all relevant submissions. And when we do this, it allows us to maximize the options that are available, which naturally increases the chances of securing the funding. It enables us to leverage the knowledge that we have gained from working with you on one grant in order to submit more grants and therefore reduce the time and input needed on your side. Argentum is a consultancy firm which specializes in non-dilutive EU funding. And we built a grant strategy for the applicants. And as part of this unique approach to funding, as I said, when Argentum works with both or non-for-profit or for-profit organizations on grants, we apply to multiple funding opportunities. And our multi-submission grant strategy is based on an ongoing analysis and an identification of funding opportunities, along with full proposal preparation. Within this accompaniment, we developed our methodology of supporting your partnership establishment, as well as to engage your department as a whole. So as I explained in the beginning, and to increase the number of applications to grants, obviously to bridge the gap between industry and academia, to facilitate the access to grant opportunities and know-how about its conditions and terms. This brings me to the end of this webinar. Thank you very much for attending today. If you would like to hear more, and if you would like to be in touch with us, please send an email to Gabriela. In the chat, there will also be a direct link to book a call. Obviously, you will receive those webinar slides via email as well. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you here today, and looking forward to being in touch. Bye. Have a good day.